what's up? Day 8, small account challenge. Didn't really take too many trades. Market was really pretty quiet. Ended up red in the small account, ended up red in the other account. So bad day. Red, obviously starting red on the week, but came off a green week last week, and certainly made back some of the losses I took at the start of the month. But I mean, undoubtedly, this is a bad month. I mean, I'm red what my average green month is, so it's the first time I've ever had that. Chris, what's up? But I think in the interest of time, I want to just keep this on the small account, talk through the trades of the day, and see where things are. But this is definitely the worst month I've ever had trading ever. But the fact that it's around the same as my average green month is somewhat justifiable because I've only had 2 red months out of 9, so positive. Alex, how did you do, mate? I fucking again bad day today. What about you? You're gonna make money because you make money all the time, but yeah, it just sucked as a fucking day again. But again, got to be grateful. Green last week, at least. So just got to make back the loss today as well. It's red like 700 in one account, 150 on the other. So red like 850 today. Just doing dumb shit. Just really, yeah. Honestly, I was up 300, then down 300, and then I got pissed off and just took a bad trade and went down 800. Me psychology, like me trade this month is just, I don't want to go on about it, but this month has been the hardest month I've ever experienced in my life trading. I'd say it's the hardest thing I've ever gone through, especially being home and the psychology of like, this is what you do full time. It's just really fucking difficult to take, especially off the back of like making what, like I turned $600 into 45k, and then all of a sudden I'm like fucking struggling this month, and I'm like went down 8 at the start of the month, and then I'm like, which is the worst thing I've ever done. I've never had losses like that before. Then I'm down 6, and then I'm back to down 7, and I'm like, fucking hell, really. But like, you've just got to eat it. Like I say, eat it, eat the loss. You know, this wasn't intentional to do this, but in the aim of transparency, I mean, look. This is the year. It's not bad. January, February, it's up about 6 grand, then up like 15, whatever. But anyway, the average, like green all the time up until this month, I'm down 7k, and it's going to end about down 7k. But my average green month's about 6.5. So if I'll probably should end somewhere down 6. The average green month, like I say, is 6.5. Average red is 4, was 1.8, but they've averaged out. So, I mean, look, 8 months green, 2 months red. Green's bigger than the red. 4 green days to every one, 4 green months to every 1 red month. It's just fucking terrible like to go through this. For me, anyway. I mean, maybe I'm being dramatic and stuff, but anyway, like 880 red. At least that's green. But I'd really need to put a bit of work in to turn this around. But anyway, best trade of the day was NTN. A lot of resistance, although it was a low float. We had this posh. It was a lot of volume, but it wasn't really getting much higher. Starting to get the top tick wicks shorted. I mean, I shorted near VWAP. Took half off immediately. Like, I'm talking as in $500, so I wasn't really bothered. Added when I got heavy, and added on VWAP, and then covered on the way down. Got some pretty good covers. My covers were like 240s, 230s. The covers look terrible now, but like, I mean, look, to take from the 270s down to the 230s, I thought wasn't bad until I saw potentially how red this could go. It's the only thing that's probably stayed down in this market. Sava was like another stock, which was like, again, like it's the market, it looks like it's reversing. It's up from the 2s to the 10s. You'd think at some point this is going to have a decent red day, or it's going to consolidate and push. Sava, opened up as a decent red day. Luckily, I took the profits on this one. Took a little short pre, took a little short on the push. I think I was covering somewhere down here, and thank God I did, because it's back to break even. And that's the story for all of the first red days today. Savo's first red day, we had Kodak, which is what I mean. Look, I lost about 300 or 400 on this. Then I took a stupid other trade on somewhere random. Kodak doesn't want to go down. Too many people is just buying everything up, despite the market hitting lower lows, which is weird. Kodak, first red day, you've got your buy here, you've got your add here. To be honest, if you play it right and you don't average in too much, you've got a short, you've got your short on more or less the double top. When it reclaims VWAP, you just take it off for break even. I just got a bit overconfident with this, averaged in a bit too much on this, left myself with a bad average, and then really, I mean, it depends how you play it, but if you're shorting around the 1050s, you can risk the double top, right? And you break even on it. But I was obviously averaging in on the VWAP fail, averaging in again on VWAP, and then when it pushed off, I'm fucked me average, and then I'm like, oh, I don't want to just cut on VWAP, I want to cut the double top, and then I'm risking something that's not worth me average. Just knowing what to do right, but doing it wrong. WKHS, that was when things started to go wrong. It was another first red day. Kind of a first red day, but this worked out pretty well. I mean, look, open, we had the drop, actually shorted around VWAP, and it looked like it was going to reject. We had all this push down. I just averaged in a bit, and if you look at the lines on WKHS, it's you've got like top support. So it kind of bottomed really where the prior day support was. It was very natural. Should have been taking some off here. Instead, I was like, I'll just add a bit in the 28s, add into VWAP, and let's get the next leg down. But in this market, you don't get red days. And if you do get red days, they're not very big red days because it's such a long bias market. It's tough. And that was pretty much it. I took a stupid trade on Apple out of frustration. This was pure idiocy though. Like, I mean, Apple downtrending, it's got a gap to fill down here. And I was basically just annoyed and did something stupid, which is a shame because I was up trading larger caps overall. But when you're seeing the kind of the lower highs here and it breaking down in the failed double top, it's overextended the way it's ripped up. Just took a bit too much size, got squeezed out, and then it did come down. As simple as that. So yeah, bad day. The small account is, I'm probably up a bit on it, but not much. The bigger account, since the initial losses, I mean, I was down, had a terrible start, right? I was down like 453. It's down like 8.1 thousand. Now down 7. So like I've made 1,000 back. I mean, honestly, like it would be a dream to make like 2,000 back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It would be a dream to make like 2,000 back and finish the month 5 red. So I wouldn't consider a 5,000 red month that bad. I'd say I was stupid, but I wouldn't call it that bad. Anything under 5 is really not a bad red month for me, because it's like, it's less than the average green month, and I very rarely have red months. So, but like fucking psychologically, it is taxing as fucking hell. But again, like the only way I can kind of rationalize this is like, I'm not trading very well, and I'm not. I'm trading all right, but I'm not trading very well. I was at the very start of the month trading badly, but apart from that, I'd be up $1,000 if I hadn't made those 2 mistakes at the start of the month. But apart from that, first red days, it's just the markets, somehow things don't come down because they just keep on getting bought back up. So first red days don't really work. But then we don't get parabolics because things aren't really running 2 to 3 or 4 days. And if they do it, maybe they're holding highs and not really coming down. And then you've got the gappers, which there's just not really many at the moment. So sucks. Chris, all right, mate. Alex. Patrick. But I'm not joking. Like I was like screaming like fuck's sake. Like when I went red 800, I was like, fuck. So never been so annoyed. Didn't get the that date sucked. Yeah. Been red for a while, 1700. Yeah, you should be doing all right when you're long. Yeah, NKLA is like one that I keep on seeing people talk about. Had terrible news, right? Yeah. But again, like it had terrible news, broke support, came back anyway. Like I think I heard those bad news on it, and then it ramps at the open and it's holding highs. Stopped out early on INO. I didn't trade INO. Weird. Your life has changed a lot. Yep, it has. But you'd think if you had more time to work at something, you'd be better at it. And if you were less tired and you were less stressed, and I was trading and working at the same time, it was really nightmare sometimes. But I think the market's just slow, man, and I'm in a bad run. I think so, Clint. Nice to see you. Yeah, man. Fucking. But just struggling to have green weeks, and then I know you don't trade long much, but you prefer buying strength. I'll buy breakouts. I'll buy short squeezes, but like that's it. Wait for small caps. Me trade on Apple was fucking stupid. What's up? Oh god. I don't, mate. If I knew the answer, I would tell it to myself. So I'm sorry I can't help. But yeah, so like I say, really disappointing. Not much I can do about it. We'll be back tomorrow. And I mean, look, like I say, finish the month anywhere near 5 red would be fucking brilliant. Yeah, market's changing a lot, and you're right, it is all getting bought up. I'm sure Kodak right now. Dude, I just got stopped out of Kodak for a bad loss. Trying. Have a look. I mean, just the way the market is, I cannot see this working. I think Kodak's probably going to make new highs. There's just too many buyers. Like, there's too many people wanting to buy at every level. 68. You shorted when I covered. I covered the double top break, and I think you must have been in around there. I hope it works out for you. I mean, I don't like first red days having green candles. It's like not a real first red day, right? It's a gap down and it came back. X is a good first red day. One of the ones that worked, eh? Yeah, fucking hell. One of the ones that worked. Like much lighter volume. Not say there's not like interest on that and a lot of buyers. What looking at? A window of profit is taking small. True that. No idea. And Calais. Why short stocks? Man, a live stream, man. The stocks everything. Not sure about that. I don't even know how to answer that. I'm sorry. I don't even know how to answer. Not right now. It's not looking good. Do you feel like you've changed your emotion with your trading? Not really, nah. In the first week or two I did, and then I got punished for it, so I just went back to reading price action and trading what the market gives us. But I was up like 350 a day. Had I been in Dubai, had I been working full time, I would have definitely went for more. Definitely. Because I play the patterns, not the profits, and the patterns hadn't worked themselves out. And did I used to get frustrated in Dubai? Yeah, I get dead frustrated in Dubai and make the same mistakes. So it's just a bad month. I don't really question the psychological. I mean, I'm trading bad, so I'm in a bad mood and I'm making more mistakes, but it's not that I'm in a different setting. I mean, fucking wherever I am, the same screens are the same thing and the It's all the same. Surprised no one's speaking of pick. Possible first red day tomorrow. I'm not trading first red days anymore, and that chart's got no fucking volume, which is maybe a good thing. Well done. All right, guys, I'm out. This is a disaster. Sorry if it's morbid, but try and go for a walk and shake it off, and just fucking we'll be having.